Hey guys, welcome back to Tech with TJ. Today I got the FIFINE AM8 review for y'all today. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm gonna be reviewing. Just wanted to show it off real quick. So what I'll do first is, unbox it, talk about the features that it has, and kind of do a rundown of that. Then we'll do, a sound test and, how it performs real world wise. Yeah, then I'll just give pros and cons, final thoughts, things like that. But yeah, first let's get into the unboxing. Alrighty, let's get to the unboxing. As you can see, pretty plain box with the manual on top. Then you get to the stand that it comes with. It's a pretty basic stand, but it's pretty heavy. Then they have this pretty cool foam all around everywhere to keep everything protected. As you can see now, we got the mic. Just showing you guys all around. I was trying to show you guys the thread, how it can fit to both sizes. Yeah, then you got this cable here. It's a very long cable. It's USB-A to USB-C and USB-C to USB-A. But yeah, that's going to be it for the unboxing. Alright, so I just wanted to talk about the features real quick of this mic. I thought this would be a cool point of view, kind of from like my point of view. So this is how the mic looks on my desk. Just kind of giving it a spin here. This is through USB-C. So I wanted to let you guys know that if you do it through XLR, you lose the knobs to it, the RGB lighting, and the mute button. So all you're pretty much utilizing is the mic at that point, once you get an XLR connection. So through USB, you retain those functions. So that's why I wanted to show you it while it's plugged in through USB-C. So to talk about the functions, it's, like I mentioned, USB-C and XLR. The RGB lighting, you get your volume knob for your headset. My bad, I pointed to the wrong one. This is your headset for the volume out. This is your mic monitoring. And this right here changes the lights. Back here you got your mute button. So as you can see, it's red, so that's muted. Green means you're good. And then like I mentioned, this is how you change the lighting. I accidentally had my hand on the mute button, so that's why it wasn't changing it earlier. But yeah, so that's kind of just the features of this. Now what I want to do is a sound test and compare the difference between it through XLR and USB. Alright, so as you guys can see, I have my mic up here. This is through the XLR. I will not edit any of this audio. I might make it louder or quieter depending on the on how it sounds, when I'm editing, but in terms of anything added and things like that, this is just without nothing. I just want to make sure you guys know that so that it's a fair test. But yeah, so this is through the XLR. I have the FIFINE SC3 audio mixer for those interested. So yeah, this is what it sounds like. Hopefully you guys can kind of hear that it sounds really well, especially for, like I said, its price. But speaking of that, I will leave a link in the description below on where you can find this mic, and yeah, just pretty much just where you can find this mic if you like it. Alright, so now that I've talked in this mic through the XLR, I'm going to switch over to USB real quick, and we can hear, the sound difference. Alright, so this is plugged in through the USB-C port. Hopefully this sounds good. Like I said, it's a bit different, of course, from the XLR. You retain most of the functions, but yeah, this is just how it sounds. I want to do a sound test between the two, so that way, in case you don't have an audio interface and can't use the XLR cable, you can still use this mic through that USB-C port. Hopefully you guys can tell that it sounds, amazing, and that it's, a really good mic. But yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to show you guys with this USB-C sound test. Like I said, all audio is going to be, is not going to be edited or anything like that. So this is what the raw audio sounds like. And yeah, hopefully you guys liked it. Alright, so hopefully from the sound test, you guys can, hear the performance and things like that. What I wanted to do now is do the pros and cons of this device. I wrote them down, so if you see me looking up, that's just what I'm doing. But yeah, so my first pro is the price. The price of these are awesome right now. I think this is probably one of the best budget mics that you can get. I will leave links in the description below about where to find this on Amazon. It's really good sound, I think, especially like I said, just for that price, it's really good. It has a plastic body, but the mount kind of itself is metal, which is pretty nice to see. So it's a very good, good durability, good build. Um, that USB XLR flexibility, so this mic can kind of grow along with you as you, you know, whatever you're doing. You can start off with USB, then get an audio interface, and advance from there. So that's pretty cool. I like the RGB on this device. I wish I could use it while I use the XLR, but the RGB on it is a very, very cool, and it's not too like overdone like how most devices are. And then the setup is super easy. Once you plug it in through USB, let's say you go into your settings, go into the input sound, and it should show up there. So that's pretty nice. The cons of this device, I will say that the cable kinda is a little cheap feeling. Now it is a long cable though, so I guess that's kind of what the trade-off was a longer cable, but not as not doesn't feel as good, but that's all right, I guess. And then the stand is a very basic stand, of course, what you're getting with this, so that kind of stinks, I guess. There's nothing that they can do about that for $50, but I did put that in my cons. And I guess another con would be the shock mount. Some of the mics that are around this price, they do come with a shock mount, and this one doesn't. So if you're going to be hitting your desk a lot, or doing something that requires you to touch or whatever, you're going to be hearing that through the mic. But yeah, so those were kind of my pros and cons. My final thoughts about this device is that it works. It's awesome, to be honest with you. There's not much of the cons that I would say that are too bad. The sound is good, and the mic itself feels like a durable mic, so that's pretty good. I would think if you're looking to get a dedicated mic, this to me would be your first option. The price point you can't beat. It's got cool lighting. Everything on it is just really solid and easy to use. So I'd definitely get this mic. That's pretty much all I have about this device. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please, subscribe, comment down below what you thought about it. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.